Welcome to the 916, a food podcast about Sacramento. Or in today's case, a food podcast about a favorite guilty pleasure of so many of us on the West Coast, and that's In-N-Out Burger. I'm your host, Max Connor, and today I'm going to share an episode of a podcast I did in college. Now, this episode goes back to the summer of 2020, when I interviewed a peer of mine, Shaun Holkko, who I worked with at Sac State on the student newspaper. Shaun also happened to be an In-N-Out employee of nearly 3 years. We get into so much of the In-N-Out lore. Do you have to be religious to work there? What's with the weird tiered employee system? Why is being the fry guy so difficult to work up to? Are the fries good? Or are the fries terrible? We get into that as well. He gets into some of the secret menu items you may have never heard of, and some of the secret menu items that people think exist but really don't. So without further introduction, I bring you this episode of the 916, an old interview I did with Shaun Holkko in the summer 2020, all about In-N-Out Burger. What was your first job at In-N-Out?
The thing about In-N-Out is it's structured in a way that they want people to move up, and they give incentives for you to move up. And so I started out as a level 1, and it goes all the way up until level 7 before you become a manager above level 7. But I started out as a level 1, which is just your basic order taking, just hi, how are you, da 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 da. Just the people who you see on the front line taking the orders. Also, like the people who you might see stocking up, like the inside of the dining room, that would be your host. That's the very basic level that you start at. Then you start to go level 2, level 3, level 4, and I can get into that in a little bit.
So you start as a cashier at the front and stocking. Does level 1 also include then working the iPad outside at the drive-thru or the drive-thru line, or is that you have to move up to work?
You gotta move up. That's the handheld outside, and that's actually not till level 3. So
Wow.
yeah, you gotta make your way up through it. So I'll basically just break it down for you real quick. So the level 1, the inside the store order taking. Then like level 2 is where you get into like the pay window. Level 2, you get a little training on the handheld outside, but not officially. And then you might hand out orders in the drive-through. So that's level 2. Then level 3, you get into, of course, like the handheld outside. That's like the main job with level 3 is being able to stay outside and be able to call things into the store, because if you don't do a good job on the handheld, that just messes everything up, because then the orders get bad. And then the thing about In-N-Out is that they're already so efficient that by the time that you make it to that pay window, the food is likely already made, already sitting there waiting for you at the next window. So if there's something wrong with the order, then they have to grab that food back and just redo it however they have to do. And that's what could hold up the drive-through so long. So yeah, and then like level 4 is fries. And that's the highest I got to, is I got my level 4. I was a fry guy. Man, that was definitely intense too, because you have the burgers coming from the first board and the second board. And like the first board would primarily be like the drive-through orders. Second board would be the dine-in orders. And you have both of them, like, and when you get really busy, all those orders just come flying at you, and you got to supply fries for all of them. You got to keep track of how many animal fries you have, how many cheese fries you have, how many fry well dones you have, how many fry lights. And it could fry no salt. Like, it can definitely be overwhelming at a while, after a while. So you got to be able to just keep track of it. And then the 2 levels I didn't make it to is level 5 is like the board, which is the bottom half of the burger with like the bun, the spread, lettuce, tomato, onion. And then level 6 is the cook, the person who takes care of the top half of the burger, with like the meat, cheese, the bun on top. And then level 7 that I mentioned, that's like a training manager. Basically, you're able to just watch over the shift if a manager has to go take their 30-minute break or something. And then also the other position that you could have within the company is being a part of QFC. QFC is the quality check people who come in and make sure that we're holding up In-N-Out standards. And those people are like really what keep each In-N-Out like almost the exact same, or they try to. But yeah, there's a lot you can do at In-N-Out. Sorry for the long explanation.
No, that's all right. What was it like working there? I mean, obviously In-N-Out, one of In-N-Out's things they pride themselves on at least from a corporate messaging standpoint, right, is how they treat their associates and that everyone who works In-N-Out is family. So what was your experience working at, one random In-N-Out location as far as how you were treated as an employee?
In-N-Out is an amazing company. Like, they truly care about all of their associates. They care that you are enjoying your workplace and that you actually want to come into work every day. And like, they just do nice things. Like the owner of In-N-Out, Lindsay Schneider, she just does so many nice things for all the associates um, throughout the year. And like, she gives Christmas gifts to each associate each year. Like, the first year I worked there, I got this really nice duffel bag that you could use to go take a weekend trip. Next year, I got an In-N-Out backpack, which you might have seen, Max, because I wore it pretty much, or I used it the last 2 years that I was a student at Sac State. And then this past year, I didn't even work at In-N-Out for like 4 months because I told you I went on leave for my internship and also being the sports editor of the State Hornet. But then I came back just to work during winter break, and my store manager, she likes me, and she still gave me a Christmas present, even though I hadn't even been there for the last 4 months. And they gave us these really nice In-N-Out pillows, like of a soda, a double, and a fry boat. And obviously, the listeners can't physically see it, but Max, I just showed you. And the point is that they just do really nice things for their associates, and it's just a really nice company to work for.
Yeah, let the record show that Shaun just showed his bed made, and it has a San Francisco 49ers blanket, and then 3 In-N-Out pillows that are a shake, cup, a burger, and fries. So that he got from In-N-Out. That's pretty funny.
The most important thing there, Max, is my bed is made.
That's right. I would agree. Yeah. So what? I just lost my question, but so given In-N-Out is so efficiency is like so paramount in their business, what's the discipline like for an employee if you screw up, one too many times, particularly if you're taking that order on the drive-through line?
They're never like scolding you unless you did something like truly that you knew was bad, like you're stealing from the company or something. Okay, you're automatically going to get fired for that. But yeah, if you're just constantly making mistakes, they just kind of learn after a while not to put that person on the position, because they're all about efficiency and just trying to put aces in places, is what some of my managers would say in the past, is just to get the ship to run as smooth as it can. And that might mean that you're an order taker every single time you have your shift because you're not very good at taking orders outside. But yeah, that's mainly what they would do anytime like someone would mess up, is they just kind of learn what everyone's strengths and weaknesses are, and they just try to accommodate that the best, just to make the team stronger as a whole.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it makes sense, I guess, if they have that tiered system, then that's the idea, is by the time you're moved up, you've already sort of proven you can probably do it.
Most of the time. There were, like, for me, I really had to earn my fry certification. Like, I had to prove like lunchtime rush, nighttime rush. Like, I was, can I cuss real quick?
Sure.
I was getting my ass kicked, Max, like constantly.
I mean, I can only, you even describing like having been an In-N-Out customer and worked in restaurants, the idea of how many orders there are on the board at once and different modifications on fries. First, when you were like, level 4 is fries, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just dropping fries is level 4, and then you start to think, right,
drop a basket.
No, you start to think you got like, no, when you have 12 orders on the board at all times, nonstop, just one after the other, and you got all those modifications, like that's gnarly.
Yeah, and each time too, like, you have to listen to the board people, because they're the ones. Well, first you have your cooks calling out it, like, once it comes through, the order comes through, they put the tag up, so they're going to start cooking the burgers. And if I have a fry well like come through the drive-through, I need to know right when that order gets placed, because then I can have a separate basket and I can make sure that one stays in there extra long. And you got to be able to keep track of that. And then meanwhile, while I got to keep track of having these 2 fry wells and making sure not to pull that specific basket, it's like, oh, you have 4 animal fries come through on one order, and one of them wants light grilled onion, one of them wants chili peppers on them, one of them wants extra spread. And it's like, okay, I'm trying to remember all of that, and it can definitely be overwhelming after a while.
Yeah.
So you have to earn it.
All right. So what are some of the perks of working at In-N-Out other than the treatment? What are some of the perks food wise? That's what everyone really wants to know.
Okay, so I have been asked several times in the past, do you get In-N-Out Burger for free? Can you hook it up? This and that. The answer is pretty much no. In-N-Out, like, there's a reason why they are so successful. They keep inventory of everything. Like, I almost lost my job once because I poured my friend a strawberry shake and didn't ring him up for it. And then one of my managers saw me do it, saw me shake my friend's hand after, and he was just like, Shaun, we need to talk. And I knew exactly what I did. And I basically got a final warning, and it was like, if you do anything like that again, you're going to lose your job. And that was a real wake up call for me. And anyway, so you can't give anything out for free. And the only thing that the employees get for free is you get a free burger anytime you work. And you can get anything from like a grilled cheese to a double double. You can't go above a double double and get a 3x3 or a 4x4. And if you get like me, where I was working 5 days a week, I was eating 5 double doubles a week. And I've actually lost some weight since I stopped working at In-N-Out. So there's the pros and cons, Max. There's the pros and cons.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a good perk, but if you're working there a lot, that's that could be trouble for sure. All right, so into some of the food questions and some of the lore of In-N-Out. What are some of the secret menu items that you feel like people don't know about? Everyone knows about, obviously, 3x3, 4x4, you just mentioned, animal fries, animal style, protein style, but what are some of the ones that people don't know about? What are some of the things that people should order that they haven't heard of?
Like you said, the ones that are already known is like the animal fry, the cheese fry. I mentioned like fries well done. You can get your fries cooked well done. You can get them cooked light. This is like all just like getting into the weeds of it, but you can extra toast your burger for like the bun. You can get what's a Flying Dutchman, which is basically it's basically just 2 meat patties with 2 slices of cheese in the middle. That's it. That's a Flying Dutchman. And then you can get like grilled onion put on top of it if you wanted. And then Max, you also mentioned protein style, which is getting it wrapped in lettuce instead of the buns, low carb. We have a grilled cheese. That's kind of like the vegetarian option. And then we also have a veggie burger. But when people would ask me, "Oh, you have a veggie burger? I'm vegan or something," and I'm like, "Yes, but it's not an actual patty. A veggie burger is basically a hamburger without the meat in it. So you get the bun with the lettuce, tomato, onion, and spread. That's it." So yeah, and then we got like our Neapolitan shake. I think that's a little more known, even though on the menu.
I didn't know about that, but that makes sense.
Oh, look at that! See, there you go. You learn more just like that. So yeah, there's the mustard grilled patty, which is like animal style, pretty much, where they just put mustard on it so it cooks in the meat. You have your cheese fry, which we already talked about, the well done fries, 4x4, 3x3. Do you know what a whole grill onion is, Max?
A whole grill onion? I do not.
So whole grill onion, you get your basic raw onion, which we already put on the burger, but then they just slap that whole thing on the grill. They get the whole thing grilled up. So delicious. And also a tip I've learned after I worked at In-N-Out, just by going occasionally and ordering, is that if you have to like drive home, the whole grill onion will keep your burger even hotter, because you got the combination of like the meat's already really hot, and then the whole grill onion, it just makes the burger hotter overall, so it would be able to maintain the heat. You can get a root beer float at In-N-Out. And then the last thing is you can add chili peppers to pretty much anything, to a burger, to your fries. That's pretty much the secret menu. But I want to caution people from falling for fake secret menu items, because
okay.
I've had to be the bad guy a couple times, and like there's customers like, again, getting angry at me for something I have no control of. But 2 examples of that is, one is like a roadkill fry, and that's basically where you order an animal fry and you order like a Flying Dutchman, and you combine the meat patties with the fries and the animal fries, and they like chop it all up, and it's just all smashed together. I don't even know. But anyways, we can't, that's something someone made up and it became trendy, but we can't physically do that for you, like cutting up the burger, putting it in it. And then the other one was, this was pretty much an April Fool's prank. A couple years ago, Easter fell on April Fool's. In-N-Out is always closed on Easter. And there was a thing going around on Facebook introducing the new Cali burger from In-N-Out. But we don't have that. Like we have a extremely simple menu, and just to add avocado and bacon to a burger, that would just mess up the conveyor belt, so to speak, a lot. And there were a lot of people while I was in the drive-through taking handheld orders, and they're like, "I would like 1 Cali burger, please." And the first person, I was like, "Huh? What?" And then they like showed it to me on their phone, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like that's an April Fool's prank," because it said coming out on Sunday, and that upcoming Sunday was April Fool's Day, and it was also Easter where we were already closed. So I was like, I'm sorry, but that was an April Fool's joke. So just beware of the fake secret menu items, because some people can get carried away.
All right, so a couple other food questions. A few, actually. What is the spread?
Oh, simple. The spread's basically Thousand Island dressing.
Okay, that's what I assumed.
Yeah.
What's the most number of patties you personally have taken an order on a burger?
So the most that I've been asked about is like a 10 by 10. Some dude was like, I want a 10 by 10. I don't want anything on it, just meat and cheese, 10 by 10. And I was like, sir, I'm sorry. I can sell you 2 4x4s and a double, and then you can just put it all together. But yeah, so the most that we can sell is up to a 4x4. But also what some people might do, and this is something I didn't mention in the secret menu items, but we also just sell meat patties by themselves, and sometimes people like call them the puppy patties. And like you can ask for like no salt on the patties. That's what, anytime someone would come through the drive-through with the dog, I'd be like, do you want to get like a puppy patty for your dog, no salt? Because it's like 85 cents for just a meat patty. So not only are they good for dogs, but like if you wanted to like beef up your burger and make it even bigger than a 4x4, then you don't have to order like a whole nother burger on the side. You could just add another meat patty with cheese on it and then slide that into your burger.
What kind of chili peppers do you guys use?
I think banana peppers.
Okay, so it's fresh peppers.
Oh yeah,
Sliced up.
Yep.
All right, so another question a lot of people have is just there's a religiosity element to sort of the lore of In-N-Out, and how much of that does that trickle down through the company? How much of that is kind of something the managers preach, for lack of a better word?
But
how much of that is like a part of everyday life as an In-N-Out employee, and how much of that is just, hey, the managers up top have their organizations that they donate to and whatever, and some of their ethic comes from that, but otherwise it's not really a part of the job.
I keep referring back to like previous customer interactions, but it really is funny. Like after working at In-N-Out for so long, like you have those stereotypical things that people just come in and they automatically assume about you. So like that is one of them. Is they're like, oh, you all have to be Christian to work here, right? Like you all practice religion. Do you read the Bible in the back? I'm like, no, no, no. Like, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, but I don't actively go to church. And like, you don't have to be to work at In-N-Out just because they have the scripture at the bottom of the cups, whether if it be the shake cups or the soda cups. Anytime we would have like our weekly or our monthly meetings, or anytime we would get like an email from the company, especially from Lindsay, it would just say like, God bless you at the bottom. That's it. They'd just be like, God bless you, Lindsay. And that's it. That's pretty much the only like religion that would actually get into the workplace.
I have heard, this is one of the rumors I heard, and you may not want to answer this question if it's true, and it kind of ties back to that religious element. But one of the rumors that somebody asked me was, if you order and say you can't afford to pay for your food, do they give it to you for free?
So you can already tell by the hesitation. There were a couple times where someone would come through the drive-through and they would just be like, "Oh no, I forgot my wallet." Like, and you could tell some people were like actually genuine. And I had a manager named Pang who I had a love-hate relationship with. He's a genuinely extremely nice guy, but when we would get crazy busy, he would just get angry sometimes, and it was hard to work with him at some points. But I truly value him as a person. He's just a really good person. But anyways, an example of how good of a person he is anytime he'd hear that, he would literally just go grab his wallet and he would pay for it out of his own pocket. That might be where some of the rumors have started, is like if someone might have forgot their wallet, like our manager's just super nice and he'll pay for your $20 meal, even though he doesn't have to. He could just throw it away and just say, okay, have a nice day. But he was super nice about that. So it's not like we were handing out like food to just needy people all the time, but every once in a while, like if you forgot your wallet and we just happen to have a nice manager on shift, you got lucky that day. Or if you're short $1 or if you're short 50 cents, like most of the time we'll just give it to you.
If the drive-through is insanely busy and you get there and there's people standing out there and there's a line super far away, is it faster to park and go inside and order at the counter? Or are you likely to basically wait just as long? Because I've done that before where I'm like, I'm definitely going to go in. There's nobody in there. I'm going to get my food faster and then ordered at the counter and sat inside for 10 minutes and been like, I guess I could have stayed in my car.
That is an excellent question. And thank you to whoever asked that. Or if Max, if you just came up with that question yourself, thank you. Because there had been a lot of times where I am working the drive-through and there's someone who comes through the drive-through and they're like, I just want a vanilla shake. And I'm like, okay, sure. And then once they like drive away, or every once in a while, like I might actually say to them, like, hey, like if you went inside and got this, then it would have been like 30 seconds and you would have been in and out. But now you're going to wait 15 minutes sitting in your car. And sometimes people just don't want to get out of their car, and that's fair. So, for example, if you ever order like a fry by itself, or even like a fry and a shake by itself, or like a burger by itself, that would be better for you to go inside. If you order a whole meal, then it'll probably be right around the same time, whether if you're in the drive-through or not. But yeah, that's really where the main difference comes in about if you order that single item. Because if you order that single item and you go inside, you're much more likely to get it faster.
All right, let's go down the fry road. What's your personal opinion about the fries?
I think the fries are average. I mean, the thing about the fries at In-N-Out, like you are getting super duper fresh potatoes and they're not frozen. Nothing at In-N-Out is ever frozen. So sometimes like the super fresh stuff won't be as good as maybe like the frozen McDonald's fries or something. And that's fair, and that's not an excuse. My advice for most people is like if they just don't like our regular bland fries, is try something new. Get your fry well done. You're going to get them more crunchy. Get it cooked light. You're going to get that, like, if you like that gooier type of fry, the like really flimsy fry, get it cooked light. You could do fry light well, which is a little bit crunchy, but not like burnt. Because if you ask for your fry well done, they're most likely going to be burnt. So you can do fry light well, a little bit crunchy, or you could do a cheese fry. You could do an animal fry. In-N-Out's fries, yeah, they're not that great. I understand that. The burgers is where it's at. The shakes are really good, but at least they provide options to try and spice it up a little bit. And if you just don't really like the fries, and if you're one of those people, one of many people who proclaim that the In-N-Out fries are trash, that's fair because you're probably a part of the majority. But hey, at least our burgers are good.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the fries are trash, but they're still fries, so I'll still eat them, right? It's like trash pizza I'm still gonna eat, and a trash fry I'm still gonna eat. But it is interesting that such a fresh French fry is somehow worse than whatever they're doing at, McDonald's or other places that have big, Cisco frozen French fries that so many places serve. It's weird. Um,
So you say the fries are trash. Are the animal fries at least a slightly better alternative?
Yeah, no, I love animal fries. I just don't get them. I'll get them like, I mean, I don't go to In-N-Out that much. I probably go once every. I've actually been once since we've been stuck inside, and I have one like a few blocks from my house. So you said a lot of people, since you've worked at In-N-Out and Discover you worked In-N-Out, like to tell you how they don't like In-N-Out and they think it's overrated. So what are those complaints about In-N-Out from people who don't like it?
The number one thing, and probably it's in bold, italics, underscored, the fries are not good. That's
Yeah.
that's the main thing. Is because people are like, dude, I'd rather go to McDonald's and get a crappy McDonald's burger and some really good fries than get an In-N-Out burger in the trash. And I'm like, really? Really? You would? I guess so. That's your opinion. But yeah, like just some people they don't like it, and that's fair. Just different strokes for different folks. That's fine. There's enough people who go to In-N-Out. So one or two people saying, I don't really like In-N-Out, that's fine. But the majority of the people who I have heard say they don't like In-N-Out, it has been because they are comparing it to something else. So they're like,
Yeah.
I don't like In-N-Out because Five Guys is way better. I don't like In-N-Out because I'm from Texas and Whataburger is bomb. And by the way, for the record, I flew to Florida a couple years ago, and I had a connecting flight in Dallas on the way back. Stopped at the Dallas airport, got Whataburger for the very first time. I had to try it. I had to hear what the hype was about. The burger was good, but not better. and their fries were trash compared to In-N-Out. Like, their fries were even worse. So just saying. And the thing about the Whataburger that I noticed is they just put a lot of mustard on it. So everybody likes different things. But I would say that a majority of the people who I've talked to who have just said, I don't like In-N-Out. Like Sacramento Kings point guard De'Aaron Fox is one of those main guys who says In-N-Out is trash. I don't like In-N-Out. And it's because he liked Whataburger better. So most of the time people say they don't like In-N-Out because it's just in comparison to something else that they like better. I think that if you ask those people, like, without comparing it, is In-N-Out fine? Like, is it a solid burger? They'd be like, yeah, it's fine. But then you always get that caveat where it's like, it's not better than Whataburger, though.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it is better than Whataburger. That's a non-starter. Secondly, I hate it when people compare it to like a regular burger restaurant. I'm like, I think the problem is you hear people say In-N-Out's like my favorite burger, or it's the best burger. And like, to me, it's by far the best fast food drive-through burger, but I'm not going to compare it to Burgers and Brew in Sacramento, or I mean, even like a Five Guys or a Habit Burger, although I'd probably personally rather have In-N-Out than either of those two. But like, there's a big difference between a burger you're getting in a drive-through super fast than, you know, a half-pound burger somewhere else. It's like, that's not what we're talking about.
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to get into rapid fire real quick, and I'm going to add one extra question for you. We'll start with that. Given you've worked at In-N-Out and you've worked at Round Table Pizza, what is worse to come home smelling like, In-N-Out burger or pizza?
Ooh, excellent question. They both, man. I'd probably say In-N-Out burger, not because like I don't think In-N-Out burger is as good as Round Table, but a lot of the times I'd come home from In-N-Out burger, and a majority of the time I would smell like onions.
Yeah. All right.
So that's very pleasant.
That's fair. All right. So we've been talking a lot about cheap food. If money is no option and you're going to get the best thing you can think to go eat, what's going to be your go-to of expensive food?
Ooh, Sam's Hofbrau.
All right.
Have you ever been there?
I have been there. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Just make.
What is your cheap guilty pleasure?
Cheap guilty pleasure. Shit, dude. In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Stop working there, so now I crave it again.
That's right. That's fair. What's the thing you ate growing up that you still miss? I know you grew up here in Sacramento and get to be at home a lot. I don't know if you live at home or not, but what's the thing your mom or dad or grandparents or whoever made growing up that you still love to eat?
Oh, my grandma and my dad, they made a delicious beef stroganoff. Fire.
Nice.
So good. And I kind of get my fix on it and a little bit of a replacement. It's never as good as my grandma's cooking, but getting steak stroganoff from Noodles and Company, that's a solid.
All right, cool. And what's your favorite thing to make at home yourself?
Oh man, I'm not much of a cook, Max. I'm not like you, bro. Tuna sandwich.
All right.
Tuna sandwich.
What do you go with in your tuna sandwich? You throwing some pickle relish and a little mustard in there? You just going tuna and mayo?
Okay, so this is my dad's recipe right here. So tuna, we get a good spoonful of mayo. We get some pickle relish in there. We get some onion powder in there. Some onion powder. Either if you want to do some onion powder flakes or just the straight up powder.
Right.
That's some good stuff. A little bit of salt and pepper in there. And I don't put the mustard directly in the tuna, but I'll put the mustard on the bread. So I still get it with the taste in the tuna, but it's not like a heavy mustard taste in the tuna.
There you go. That's pretty solid. That sounds like a pretty solid tuna sandwich.
Yeah, definitely.
Right on. Cool, man. Well, thanks for taking the time.
Of course, sir. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Dine 16. If you like the show, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you have time, rate and review the show. It helps new people find us. And even better, send it to friends and family. Anyone you know who think they might like it, post it on social media. If you found something out about In-N-Out you didn't know before, you want to share it, drop this episode in your feed and let people know. Shaun is a talented young sports journalist and is now the sports editor of the Messenger Publishing Group, a group of smaller local papers. You can also hear Shaun on his own podcast called Shaun and Vaughn. It's a weekly sports podcast. on the Be Heard platform in Sacramento. I'll drop a link to that in the show notes. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both handles are @Dine16. And if you have any questions about the show or ideas for guests, anything you want to share, reach out to me at max@dine16.com. The opening and closing theme music are by my brother-in-law, Mark Owens. The Dine 16 is a production of the Hear Me Now studio right here in Sacramento. Join me next Tuesday for a new guest and a new episode. And until then, eat something you love with someone you love.